All right, everyone, good afternoon. I am live. Welcome to the Skill Up Show. How are you doing this amazing Monday afternoon? Today on the Skill Up Show, we will be talking about how to create the ultimate back to school plan. My name is Maribeth Shima. I am the founder of the Parenting Through Mentorship Academy and PTM Resources, and I'm the proud matron of the Mastermind Circle with Kamsi. Yes, welcome to the Skill Up Show, that show where we help parents get their parenting act together by sharing amazing tips. I'm sorry, something is going on here. Connect streaming software to go. What's that? All right, so where we share amazing tips that will help you approach your parenting journey like a guru. Okay, yes, we know that tips are not enough, but what we do here is we share tips with you that you can introduce into your parenting for the week and you will start seeing results. And then we show you, we tell you, those tips are not enough, but they can help you start your journey until you identify the areas where you need support. And we always encourage parents to get the support that they need when they find out that they need this support. All right, so welcome to the Skill Up Show. I am trying to also go live on Facebook, and I don't know what is going on here. Hi, God, how are you doing? All right, I'm trying to also go live on the go live now. What's going on here? I've not gone live on Facebook directly for a while, and I'm trying to do that now, and it's been a bit of a problem. So let's see if we can get that. If not, we'll just shoot with our show. All right, so welcome once more. All right, so we all know that the holiday season is gradually wrapping, right? We're gradually wrapping up the holiday season. What's going on? So we're gradually wrapping up the holiday season and it's time to return back to school. And I don't know what it is for you. What is it for you? Is it an exciting time? Are you excited about going back to school? Are you a bit apprehensive? Are you ready? Okay. So we've been sharing our back to school guide. I hope you have that guide already. Please, if you don't have that guide, go and get that guide already. It will help you prepare for this. Go live. Why can't I go live? All right, I'm not sure what this is. All right, so I hope you have our back to school guide. If you don't have our back to school guide, please go and get our back to school guide. It will help you. It will give you a lot of ideas, on how to prepare and get to the school and get the school year started. Yes, we give you a lot of ideas. Okay, so that back to school guide is a guide that I created. We created to use, for our children post-COVID. So we created, so if you have looked at the guide, you realize that the guide was talking about, getting back to school after the pandemic and all of that, how you can equip yourself and equip the children to get back to school. You're not currently live. All right, how you can equip yourself and the children to get back to school in a powerful way. Okay, so it is still really very valid. Okay, and it's something that we have used. That's what I used when the children were getting back to school that year. Okay, but what we do every year is we try to, look at our dynamics again as a family. And I think it's something that everybody needs to do every time. All right, I think it's something everyone needs to do every time. Look at your dynamics, okay, and use your dynamics to plan for yourself and plan for your family. All right, so you can use that guide. It's still very, very valid, but I'm going to be sharing 5 tips as I like to do on Mondays, I like to do at the Skill Up Show. I'm going to be sharing 5 tips that you can actually put into consideration as you send your children to school this school year. Just give me a second. Let me understand what is going on here. Now it's looking as if it's something that we've not done before. What's going on here? Automatically reel out. Okay, the Facebook community will have to watch here also because it doesn't seem like this is gonna post in group. Yes. I don't know what the challenge is, but am I using my camera somewhere else? Oh, StreamYard. I'm so sorry about this. Please just give me a minute. Give me a minute, please. It's not working. It's not gonna work, and we will just let that be and then move on YouTube. Okay. All right. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's do this. I'm sorry about that setback. We're trying to go live on Facebook also, as we usually would do. All right, but it doesn't seem like it's working. I don't know why that challenge is there. So yes, number one thing you want to do. This is what I do, and this is what I would like to share with you. If you would like to, put it into consideration, but it will go a long way. So the first thing you want to do when you send the children to school at the beginning of the school year. Now, this is not the time we want to start talking about, looking for the best school, because you can't be looking for schools for your children 2 weeks or 3 weeks to school, right? So we can't be looking for a new school, or if you have moved to a new location, you can't start looking for a school only 2 weeks or 3 weeks, okay, to school. It won't give you the time that you need to make good choices, okay? So searching for school is something that you should never do in a hurry. Don't ever search for school for your children in a hurry. Never make searching for a school an emergency, because if you do that, you're going to make a mess of the whole situation. You will not be objective about your search. You will be settling. Chances are you will be settling, except of course it's a school that someone has recommended and has come highly recommended. But no matter how recommended, okay, no matter how highly recommended a school or a facility, comes, it's very important as a parent that you do some checks yourself. Okay, you want to ask questions like what the curriculum. In fact, the first thing you want to pay attention to is safety. All right, what's the safety policy in the school? What's the school? You want to go to that environment so that you can see what safety is like, what's the ambience like, what's the environment like. Okay, what is their policy on safety? You want to see what policy they have on ground for safety. Very, very key. All right. You also want to find out what the policy is on discipline and consequences and all of that. So when children go out of order, when parents go out of order, you want to find out what the policy is, okay, as far as discipline is concerned. Is really very important. You want to generally feel the pulse of the school so that you know what their mission and vision, basically what the values in that school is, okay, is very key. It has to align with your values. All right, so these are things that you want to check before you take your children into a place. And I personally like to do this. I actually like to step into a school system when the system is in session. Okay, so I would not ordinarily go and look for a new school for my children when the schools are on holiday. I won't do that, because I want to come in and see what your program is like, see how you operate that system. I want to see live, maybe because I'm a very practical and hands-on person, so you can't keep telling me we do this, we do that. I remember I've gone to a school before with a friend. Actually, it wasn't me. Okay, a friend wanted, and the school was on holiday and she was trying to get, a new place for her children. We got in there, like ordinarily I want to come in here around this time. So we're there talking, a lot of tall things, how they go, they travel abroad. Now this is in Nigeria, right? How they travel abroad, the children go to see all kinds of places. At some point I just say, something, can I go to the classroom? can you take me to the classroom? I want to see what the classroom is like. I want to see what a classroom, a typical classroom arrangement is like. It will give me an idea how the children connect with their teacher. It will give me an idea of the relationship between the teacher or the caregivers and the people that they care for. All right, so that brings me to the other thing that is important. So should I call this one number one? Okay, now that's just an extra. So let's go to the number one thing that I pay attention to when the children are going to school. So I'm very big on connection, and I understand that you learn better when you connect with the people that you're learning from. Okay, so connection is a big tool in educating anybody. You can influence a person that feels connected to you. So learning is actually influencing someone with new knowledge. Okay, so when you send your children to school, you're taking them to an environment where the environment is going to impact them. Okay, where the environment is going to impact them. Sorry about this. Yeah. So you're taking them to an environment where that environment is going to make an impression on them. The environment is going to impact them. The teacher or the caregiver or whoever is going to be primarily working with your child is going to impact your child. This person is going to have the ears and the heart of your child. Okay, the younger your children are, the more this connection is needed with these people. So I am big on connection, really, and the first thing I look at when I'm going to school or when the children are going to school is how can I help them connect with their teacher the first time, because that first impression is very key. Okay, the first impression is very key. That first connection is very key. All right, so part of what I do is I get the children to write to their teacher before they meet their teacher. Now, this leaves a good impression on the teacher, and it gives the teacher an idea of the learner that is coming to her class even before the child comes. Okay, so you know the time that the school will be like, you can come into school for supplies, to buy uniform. That will soon start happening. For instance, my kids' school, I think on the 15th, I can't remember. I will have to check. Okay, I'll have to check today, but I know that the school shop is open, the school store is open about 2 weeks before school resumes for you to come in and get the supplies and all of that. And ordinarily, teachers will go back to school a whole week or two before their learners come in. So this is a good time as an intentional parent. Remember, we are intentional and we don't do it the way every other person does it. You are not an accidental parent. You are not a parent who is comfortable. Okay, no, you are not a parent that is relaxed and comfortable. Well, everything is going to be all right. Everything is not going to be all right. We're going to make everything be all right. Okay, so if you are that, I mean, it means you being an intentional parent. It means you being ready at all points or at all times to go the extra mile to make sure that you are getting the best out of every situation, every event, every circumstance, every learning opportunity, and all of that. All right, so that time when you're stopping at school to find out, to buy school uniform or whatever else, okay, it's a good time to meet your child's teacher. Now, for some schools, the schools will even send you, okay, they will send you a letter. Okay, they let you know who your child's teacher is going to be, their new teacher, the new class, and all of that. All right. So usually when I go to school on this day, I would ask to know who my child's teacher is. And another thing my children's school would do is they would actually send you a letter. So in a few days now, I'm going to receive an email or going to receive a WhatsApp chat, WhatsApp message telling us, a broadcast telling us, who the teacher will be introducing herself or himself to us and all of that. So what I do is I get the children excited to go back to school. So that's number two. All right. So I will finish number one and jump into number two about getting the children excited. So number one is helping the children connect with their teacher. And one of the ways that we do that is we help the children and their teachers meet, before they meet physically. So the children get to write their teacher a letter telling their teacher about themselves. okay, telling their teacher about themselves, and then that letter goes ahead. So usually, this is the reaction that we get when we go to school the first day of school. Usually, you come in, my daughter, for instance, she's 8 now. So, like last year, she was 7. So, they come in on the first day and it's like, hi, Miss Whatever, my name is, oh, you are Ada. Ah, it's always like that, especially with the women. The men will be like, oh, awesome, like that. So, but you see what you've done? You've broken the ice, okay? You've gone ahead to help them break the ice. You've gone ahead to help the teacher know what to expect. You've gone ahead to help your teacher. So your daughter or your son is not like every other person coming and, not having an idea who this teacher is, nothing, so they feel like they already know this person so much, in some little way. Remember, they have started communicating. All right, so communication is the basis for connection, isn't it? So you have helped them start communicating. Chances are, when you even send them, if it's an email you send to the teacher, chances are the teacher will, write back another email. Reply the email before they even get to school. So you see, the first leg of communication has happened between these two people. This works perfectly. It's like magic for your preschool, your early years, your 3-year-olds, your 4-year-olds, your 6-year-olds. Even for your 3-year-olds, you can actually make them write to their teacher. All they need to do is draw. Oh, I want you to imagine who your teacher is. Oh, okay, so your teacher is Miss Kemi. Okay, so you're telling the child, so Miss Kemi is your new teacher, and Miss Kemi is light skin. Miss Kemi is this. I think she's an amazing person. Would you like to meet her? So why don't you write her a letter and introduce yourself to her? So you will see your child will try to draw a picture of himself. Okay, so tell Miss Kemi about you. So he draws a picture of himself with a smiley face or something. Give children expression, and art is an amazing way for children, especially your young children, to express themselves. So give him a piece of paper and tell him to write or to tell Miss Kenny about himself. So he's going to write, he's going to draw, put a smiley face, something, show himself playing football, show himself just basically telling Miss Kenny, this is who I am and all of that. So Miss Kenny will get that letter, and the first thing she will do is she's going to smile and she will look forward to meeting the little boy. Remember, the goal here is connection. The goal here is connection. Children learn better, okay, when they connect with you. Children feel more relaxed when they connect with you. Children feel welcomed and they trust you better when they connect with you. And it is your prerogative. It is important to you as a parent that you help your child, that you create the opportunity for your child to connect with the person, especially the primary person that they are going to be learning from, their homeroom teacher. Okay, that's a person that's going to be with them a lot of the times, even if they have other subjects that they go to or the teachers come in. But you see, the homeroom teacher is that one that they will meet every day. Okay, and it's important that they feel comfortable in that space and with this person. Your child doesn't feel comfortable in the class can actually affect them for the entire school year, and you don't want that. Okay, so because connection is key, I want you to go ahead and try to create that connection or help them create that connection from day one. All right, so number 2, day 2, the other important thing that you want to do is you want to get your child expectant and excited about school. Okay, so you want to get them excited about school before they go back to school. As I said in the guide, all right, at the end of this session, I want you to look in the comment section and in the description. If you are on YouTube, okay, you will see a link to the guide. Please get that guide. Whatever you do, get the guide. I know a lot of people have the guide already. If you don't have it, make sure you get the guide, because I'm not going to be talking about the things on that guide. I won't really talk a lot, about things on that guide. You have it there. I mean, go and read. Right? It's not even a bulky one. It's just a small PDF that you can, consume in 10, 15 minutes and you are done. And so go ahead and use that guide, and it will help you, it will give you, other ideas and perspective, to how you can, do this. All right, so yes, we want to get the children excited about school. We want to get the children, and naturally, it doesn't matter how, maybe the older kids after a while during the summer holiday, depending on how boring you made summer for them. Yes, and I said boring, you made summer for them. If you don't have a nicely planned summer holiday, okay, if you don't have a nicely planned, events, parks, productive summer holiday, then your children are going to go through summer. By the time they go into the fourth week of summer holiday, they are tired. They are frustrated, they are tired, they just want to get back to school. Okay, so it's either that or your children are they let you dropped every bar, you dropped every boundaries, and your children were all over the place, binging on TV and binging on all of those things. Okay, in that case, they probably don't want to go back because all of a sudden routines and all of that will come in if you are even like that. Okay, so the best place you want to be is being that parent who has allowed or who has planned summer in a way that the children have had fun, they've been productive, they've been engaged, and all of that. And you realize that the excitement is on throughout the summer holiday. Okay, but we're not talking summer holidays, about to end now. So whatever you did not do, I guess. Okay, we're on our way to the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks of the summer holiday. But hey, you can still key in a few things there if you want to. For instance, our kids rested on the first week of summer holiday. So the first week of summer holiday, we just rested. We just chilled at home. Okay, we were like, okay, it's been a hard term. It's been a full term packed and all of that. So it's just chilling. So we didn't have any routines per se, apart from our normal week of do your chore kind of thing. So they just relaxed. I wasn't taking them out, we weren't going out. We just did a lot of sleeping, just relaxed and all of that. By midway into that week, we created our summer plan. Okay, so midway into the first week, we created our summer plan, what we're going to be doing, and all of that. By the second week of summer, my kids were out doing internships. Okay, they've been doing internship program before their internship program. Our daughter wanted to learn how to sew, so she had to go to a tailoring, shop, she had to go and work under a tailor, watching and learning. She went there with the plan of, for this term or this summer, she went there with a plan of learning how to cut basic, basic clothes, and then learning to mastering the use of the sewing machine. So these were the targets for summer holiday for her. For our son, he went to the barber shop. He wants to be able to barb. But more than that, we wanted somewhere where he could be of service. So he didn't just go there to watch the barbers. He was there cleaning the shop, making sure the products were in place, the towels were in place, the aprons were in place. Put the apron on the what do you call it, on the customer. They finish, the barber finishes, hands in the apron. He has to clean the apron, make sure everywhere is tidy, hands it, and then comes through. So basically, he was learning and being of service, because service is a core for us. And he did that for 2 straight weeks. It was exciting for him. It was fun for him. This was him in a place full of adults, apart from few children, the children who come in to have a haircut every now and then. He got seats a number of times. He got into conversations with older men when they come in. What are you doing here? Oh, I'm doing an internship program. And they get talking. They have this conversation with him. When they are leaving, they tip him 1,000 naira here, there, a number of times, because they were just excited about him and his so it was good for me. That was him out there without any of us. That was him navigating the world. I never called the shop to find out how he's doing, is he holding his own and everything. I never did. I just asked the manager, I hope he is not doing anything wrong. That is even on days afterwards when I have to talk to her to get feedback, okay, and they're like, he was always on point. So basically that's it. So we did that. Week 3, we got back, and week 3 was we went outside. So week 3 was outside, so the park visiting. So they had a couple of play dates, arranged for week 3. They had a couple of play dates they arranged, so they visited friends, they had friends come in, they did video games, they played outside, big muscle development and all of that. And then, of course, we started winding down into the week of camp. So just yesterday, our son started a virtual camp. He joined a virtual camp just yesterday. This is week 4. This is sorry, that's 1, 2. So that's 1, 2, 3. This is week 4. So week 4 plan is camp. So week 4 and 5, the kids are off to camp. Okay, so my daughter cannot go to camp yet, so she's going to be camping with mommy. So I'm going to work less and do a lot of activities with her. So we're going to learn to cook because she can go to a physical camp. So we're going to do a lot of cooking that period, we're going to do cooking. We're going to do a lot of storytelling. I'm going to just do a lot of things with her so that she can learn 1 or 2 skills, home management skills during that period. And it's going to be fun. She's also, involved in our summer 30-day fun activities, summer book reading book challenge. So she's actually going through a book challenge. She's doing a book challenge right now where she gets to read a number of books that she has challenged herself to read. So she's reading, I think, 10 or 15 books, something like that. All right, so week 5 is still camp. Our son is back to camp on week 5. Now, week 6, we're going to go on excursions. So week 6, when they come back, we're winding down, getting set to go back to school. When it comes back, with 6 excursions, and we have a few places that we've penned down that we will go out, excursion. Week 7 is the week for back to school. So back to school is going to be shopping here, shopping there, and then we will end all of this with a dinner where we actually go out as a whole family. And then during that dinner, Daddy and I will talk to them about our expectations for the term, our expectations for the school year. The mastermind circle would have started at that time. So we will create goals, we will create affirmations, we will create our own statements and commitment statements. They will create their commitment statements to themselves on what they want to do and what they want to achieve in the school year. And that's the week they're going to write to their teacher, meet their teacher, and they are all set for school. So you see, summer all planned. All right, so just want to give you an idea, like that. So you can see you still have about 3 to 4 weeks, depending on, when your children went off. So you still have about 3 to 4. You can still try to make sense out of that summer holiday if you have not planned it, you've not created some structure around it and you've not planned it, in any way. Okay? Or if you've not been following those plans, because I know it's one thing to create the plans, it's another to follow those plans through, isn't it? I know this, okay? So, hey, we can get back to this. All right, so that's it, So the next thing you want to do is, as I said, get the children excited. So you see, after camp, our son is going to come back. Our daughter is going to relax on. I was even thinking we'll play some music school too, but our daughter is already relaxing. So we'll be toning down on all the skills, home management, self-management skills I'm teaching her. We're going to learn how she can do her. She started washing her underwears herself. Okay, I'm going to go through all that. We'll do her, we'll create her wardrobe all over again. That's what I'm going to be doing with her while her brother is in camp. I'm going to go through, we have this, we're doing this favor Osiri. So there's a mommy and child bonding activity every day that we're going to be doing. So I'm leaving it to start tomorrow when her brother goes to camp. So you see, I intend to bond with her a lot during this period. Okay, so this is where we're going to be next week. So for instance, see, this is day 3. All right, dear daughter, she has her book. So this is hers. So this is dear mom. This is dear daughter. So we're using this during the summer holiday, and we're going to be doing this from tomorrow, right? Remember, I said from tomorrow, she's practically going to be in camp at home. Okay, so something like that. So by the next, by week 6 or 7, as I said, they start winding down, preparing for school, getting excited. So we're already going out, we're talking about, okay, our expectations. In the mastermind, they're already creating their goals for the school year, and they're pumped up about the school year. Okay, by the way, the mastermind is a peer mentorship and accountability group that we run in the academy for children between ages 6 and 14. It's a robust system. If you don't have your child in the mastermind, what are you doing? It's a system that points your children to start taking charge in of their lives gradually from 6. Imagine pointing your children start getting excited about their lives, making their own decisions from age 6. I promise you, by the time those children are 8, the children will be directing themselves to a huge extent. Okay, I've said this over and over. The mastermind is on recess right now. My children should be lounging and doing nothing. But you see the partners at the mastermind, as I speak to you, they are still sending in their reports every day. Like it is now part of us. We can't stop. We will do this, whether you're on recess or not. When you come back, you will meet us doing what we're supposed to be doing, even when we're not on recess. And this is the whole idea. This is the energy. We will help you stretch these children to your children become comfortable with being at the front burner of their own lives. Now, imagine getting your children in that space as early as 6 and 7 and 10 and 12. I promise you, your teenage parents' relationship will just flow easy. I have been waiting. They say, oh, when my son becomes 13, it will not be easy to be, call. It will not be easy for us to connect as we connect. You will not, they will not like, when you send them, they will grumble. I have not seen. He's 13, we are not grumbling yet. I am still saying, hey, sweetie, can you help me with that money? Amen. Okay, so that's one of the biggest goal in the mastermind. Getting the children, getting your teenagers. You want to get your teenagers to the point where both of you understand, all of you understand yourselves, understand what is acceptable, what's not acceptable. You have your values in front of you. They already understand the reason, the why behind everything that they do. So you don't have to hound them for them to do a thing. They can do it because they understand why they need to do it and why they don't have to do it. Okay, all of that. So the truth is some of the biggest challenges we have in our relationship with our teenagers is because there is a lack of understanding between the parents and the children. So you will hear the parents say the parent is constantly complaining that the child doesn't understand what the world is about. He thinks it's about just watching TV or and the child is always complaining. The parent does not understand me. So you see, understanding is the thing. So we are saying with the mastermind, we help you get to the point where that understanding becomes a thing right now. So by the time they are teenagers, you're fine. You're doing good. All right? So yes, get them excited about going to school. So all of these things we're doing, preparing their goals, the goals they are preparing, the commitments they're making to themselves, creating their vision wall, that's what we call it. Their vision wall is going to have their vision board and it's going to have their activities that they do every day. 6, 7, sorry, word war. My son just corrected me. So we call it their word wall. So basically, I'm just looking. So basically, it just has wake up, make my bed, say prayer. So basically, it's a quick glance for them, okay, on the things that they need to do. So they just have like the morning routine. They have 1, 2, 3 morning routines, 4, 5, 6 afternoon routines, 7, 8, 9 evening routine, 10 go to bed. So one look and they have that and they can see 10 cards. So these are some of the things that we help the children do in the circle. All of this will prepare your child, get your child gingered, for the academic year. And then of course he was reading to his teacher and all of that. All of it pumping them, getting ready for the academic year. And then they go out with you, you sit down, you have that conversation, all of it pumping them for the academic year and all that. So by the time they come to school on the first day of school, they are excited about school. At this point, of course, you've toned down on all of the excesses, that they got into because of the holiday, and you're set for school. All right. Now, number 3 is you want to make sure that you're in school on the first day. I think I mentioned that in the back to school pack. Okay, so showing up with your children on the first day of school is a silent way of reassuring your child that we are in this together. I am here with you from the beginning. I am here to support you to be the best version of yourself, to reach your full potential. This is a new milestone in their lives. Don't forget it. Every new class is a new milestone. So if your child is going to college, your child has never been to college before. If your child is moving to grade 10, he's never been in grade 10 before. Your child is moving, even if your child is repeating a class, he's never been in that class that year with the same group of children and the same group of minders and caregivers at that time. I mean, something has changed. So it's a new experience. So what you do is you want to assure them that you are together in this new, okay, in this new, through this new experience. So we always say to parents, okay, I am very big on independence. I'm very big on independence, so I raise the children to be independent. But when they're independent, I leave that channel of communication that says to them every time you need support, do not hesitate. I am here for you. So we raise the children to be independent and then to also know that it is okay to ask for help. So that's why we leave that room. We don't save you. We don't create and give you all the answers. We allow you to seek the answers. And while you're trying to get the answers, if you go through some, confusion, non-clarity, and all of that, we give you and we let you know, I am here 100%, for your support. So when you show up with them on the first day of school, it's like it's the three of us. Remember, it's actually a type of relationship. You, the school, and the child. Right? So when you show up, don't just show up and leave them at the lobby or the entrance, or don't just be in your car on that first day and say, oh, have a great day and drive off. No. Pack your car, dress properly, park the car, go into school with them, go into their classroom with them, okay, have that meeting with them, their teacher, have that whatever, be warm to the teacher, all right? So remember your connection also with the teacher is going to send a message from day one. It's going to send a message from day one. Now, I can say this boldly, okay, because I have been in the classroom for almost a decade. I was in the classroom for almost a decade, isn't it? So I've been in the classroom, so I know what it means to be a homeroom teacher, to be a teacher, isn't it? I promise you, even as a teacher, you know the parents whose child you want to joke with. Yes, you know the parents that when you're sending a correspondence home, you know the parents that you have to double check that correspondence before you send it home. And you know the one that even while you're sending it, you know that it will probably come back to you and nobody will see it. So the way as a parent you support your child and the way the school understands that you support your child actually influences the reality how that child is treated. I mean, call it whatever you want to call it. Bias or whatever, I don't know, call it whatever you want to call it. Let the school say whatever it is that they say it is, but it is what it is. And it's not as if they go out of their way. They don't treat your child better in a particular way. I'm just saying, there's just something about, making sure that they dot their I's and cross their T's when they know that the parent is intentional and the parent is involved in the life of the child. So you want to pass that message across from day one. You want to pass the message across that, hey, this parent is available. This parent is involved. This parent is intentional. And that's the day you also want to pledge your commitment to helping the teacher and supporting the teacher. So you want to go that day and let the teacher know, oh, I am here. If ever you need any support, if there's any way you would want us to, just let them know that, something, I'm not just dumping my child and walking away. I am here. I am available. I'm available. I'm here. If there are any concerns, please feel free to reach me. If the school allows it, if the policy, they allow you to share numbers with them. Okay, they allow you share number with them, share email with them. Just build your own connection with your child's teacher also. It is very important. But whatever you do, don't go over the board and do not turn your child's teacher to your friend. They are not your friends. You have your relationship, and that relationship is sort of um, official, and at the center of that relationship is the interest of your child. So don't get to the point where the interest of the child is compromised because you have to focus on the relationship that you are building or you have built with this person. So let the interest, let the focus be on the child, and let your relationship be based on the fact that you both you want the best for that child, and you are collaborating to get the best out of that child. All right. So very, very key, this one. All right, number 4, I'm going to go off in the next 5 minutes. So number 4, you want to create the right structure at home that will allow you allow you support, allow you teach your children, support your children, guide your children, help them become independent. You want to create a system. Everything works in a system. Everything in parenting, everything works in a system. And that's because success is achieved through discipline. There is no discipline without success. I watched a video briefly of Serena Williams, or Venus Williams, the other day, and she was talking about success. Okay, she said freedom is discipline, right? Freedom is discipline. So all that thing you're looking for is embedded in how disciplined you are as a parent. Okay, it is the discipline that you have as a parent, as a home, that will trickle down to your children. So stop being that parent that you are always late, and then you find yourself yelling. Meanwhile, you are the problem. You are the one that is always doing crash programs. You have to go to work. The children have to go to work. This is you looking at the time, and you see that you are running late. Now, because of your own irresponsibility, what do you find that? You find that you begin to get upset and angry with everybody. You're shouting and screaming and angry with everybody at the time, when in truth, even you were not ready as early as you should be ready. Okay, so please, you have to have discipline as a parent, first of all. So create a system in your home that rides on discipline. And if you would want that kind of system, then you have to put structures on ground. What time is your wake up time? As a parent, you can wake up at the same time your children will wake up, especially if you're a parent of toddlers and young children. Okay, so you want to wake up a little earlier, and do the things that you have to do, get your things out of the way, and then create some time where you'll be supporting your children, especially if they are at that stage. Please, parents, mind your step. Stop watching and listening to, some people or some of us who have come, who have made some progress in our journey, and we have children who are older. Stop looking at these people and trying to use this as a template for your 6, 7, 8-year-olds. I have an 8-year-old. My daughter just turned 8, and the expectations I have of my 13-year-old is not the same expectations that I have of her. So right now, I do not put her in a place where she has to pack her meals, get up, do what she has to do, pack her meals, pack her lunchbox, and all of that. I don't put her in that place. Now, at this point, this is the point where I guide her to do those things. So she gets into the bathroom. So sometimes she's like, "Mom, can you give me a bath?" I'm like, "You're 8-year-old. Don't give yourself, 8-year-old. Go and give yourself a bath," and all of that. So sometimes I would actually step into the bathroom with her, and she's having her bath. If she doesn't ask me to excuse her, there are days she's in the mood and she just says, "Mom, excuse me, I will excuse you." But there are days I just stand there by the door and I'm like, "Okay, can you scrub the armpits? Have you scrubbed the armpits? I need you to lift your hand, scrub it a little more, okay? And the other one, scrub it a little more. Are you sure you have?" Just basically, because this is the point where I'm trying to get her. She's learned this thing. Now, this is the point where I'm trying to get her to do these things properly. Remember, when they are 3 and 4, and they want to do these things themselves. It's important that you let them, because it is when they do that they become better at this thing. So it is important that you let them do it, but also remember that they may not be able to do these things effectively during those stages. So that's why when they're done, you're like, okay, can let me just do you a quick last wash. I did it on my daughter. Can I just give you a quick last scrub? She's done, and she's done that. That's when she was younger. 4 and thereabout, 4, 5. She's finished and said, wow, bravo, amazing job you did there. So let me just give you a quick last scrub, mommy love kind of scrub. Okay, but what you're trying to do is because you know that yes, the child is winning, the child is learning, but hey, okay, doesn't stop the smell or whatever it is if it's not done properly. So you want to do that and then gradually. So now this is the point where you are trying to make sure that they know how to do it effectively on their own. So you want to stay there and give the prompts, give the reminders, give the push here and there and all of that. So you want to do that, but make sure that you have a structure on ground that helps your children become independent, direct themselves, and helps you avoid micromanaging your home. If you micromanage your home, you will get overwhelmed. So that's why a lot of parents are overwhelmed, especially for parents who have decided to be intentional and they're walking that intentional journey. But the thing is, you're walking that journey, but you are overwhelmed a lot of the times if you will tell yourself the truth. Okay, it's not just about we've made progress or no progress. In that progress, are you okay? In that progress, are you overwhelmed? The idea is not that you make progress and you are overwhelmed. The idea is that you create a system where you will make progress and you can avoid being overwhelmed. Okay, and it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to turn to your support system. But more than anything, it's important that you get your children to know how to do things for themselves. Okay, you get your children to know how to do things for themselves properly. That way, there is no need to micromanage. It's all important that you have their routines and their schedules in place, and that you point them to knowing those routines, knowing those schedules, and you help them get committed and consistent. It is only with commitment and consistency that your children move from you doing all the prompts and all the yelling and all the shouting and all the micromanaging to them doing it on their own and doing it effectively. So it's not a journey that will happen in 2 days, in 1 day, in 3 weeks, sometimes in 3 months. It's a journey that you have to stay on, okay, for as long as it takes, right, for the children to master it. Now, this is the challenge. That period you're waiting for them to master it, chances are you get frustrated. So you see yourself complaining and shouting. That's when we see parents coming back and saying, Coach, I've tried. The child is not. You have not stayed in. You've tried all right. Give yourself a path. And this is like genuinely, I'm genuinely saying this. Okay, I'm sending you e-hugs at this point. But hey, the trying, the effort is the first part. The other part is patiently staying there until the child is able to convert that skill from being extrinsically motivated to then being able to motivate themselves intrinsically. But you can't stay in there and avoid all the overwhelm and shouting if you are not walking that journey and you are not being intentional and you're not being intentional about that journey and you're not being a learner. Okay, you should be ready to continuously learn, because when you are learning, then you understand a lot of these things that we're talking about. You understand the why behind what your children are doing. All right, so very, 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 very key. Okay, very key. All right, the last one I'm going to give you is, I'm going to say to you, you want us to walk with you through this. You want us to really help you through this, because there is a way. Okay, I said I have done this, I've done this for what? Hassan has been in school since he was 2 years. So basically, I've walked this journey, and I've replicated this journey over and over again. I've walked through this journey with our son. I had the first person who came to stay with me after I had our son. My mom thought I needed a young person to be with him so that they would play and all of that. So that was the first person that came to stay with us. She was 12 years old when she came to me. When she came, she couldn't differentiate between brown and green. Yeah, she couldn't differentiate between brown and pink. He was that bad. Okay, she couldn't read. She was She was 12 and she came to me that she was supposed to go to SS1 from her village. She came here and she couldn't read a level one book. Yes, she couldn't read a level one book properly. Okay, maybe she would just go here and there with a level two book. No way, she couldn't. Okay, by the time we took her for her tests, she couldn't even pass the test enough to be in a year six class. This is someone that came and wanted to go to SS1. I don't understand the SS1, but she couldn't even pass the entrance exam into a year six class. In fact, she got into a year five class with a lot of promises on our part to help her. Okay, she passed and the pass wasn't that strong, but we had to assure them that we're going to help her. We're going to do a lot of work. Okay, and the first result she came, I can't even remember what she came with, 30 something, but something result. It's, a school not too far from the house, so they do all that position. But I promise you, by the time she stayed, at the end of the second term, okay, of that year, she came second in her class. Yes, that's how far. Okay, that's how effective, some of these systems that we have put in ground, especially when it comes to supporting children and when it comes to helping children excel. That's the system that we have on ground is one that can change everything, the trajectory, like 360-degree, turn it around. So we've put together a workshop, okay, that will be happening in September. Okay, next month the workshop is going to kick off. Okay, but we have other things, as part of the workshop. So the first part of the workshop is the back to school. We want you to prepare for the children to go back to school. That's the first start. We're going to have a goal setting and planning session where we will help you actually put a structure, your plans together. It's going to be a Zoom session where we'll sit and have you put that plan together for the school year. Put all of it together, like just become confident about where you're going to. I'm going to allow you visualize and come up with a picture of where you're going to this term with your children. Okay, this school year with your children. I'm going to help you create the plan that will help that vision come alive. And then, of course, the execution plan to that. All right. And then, of course, we will go through how to put your physical space together, your your physical, your psychological, all of that, how to create the right environment. The environment is everything in your child's learning. So the last part of the course is we're going to teach you how to prepare your environment. And this course is going to be taken by our team of experts, expert curriculum coordinator, me, okay, and then of course your parents coach, and of course a motivation and support guru. So by the time we're done, you would roll through the school year confident, and you will see the results. The results will amaze you if you would just put your hand to the plow and hold it there all the way. This is what we've replicated with the mastermind, the kids in the mastermind. Okay, and we're ready. I mean, this cohort, we're ready to take it to a whole new level. A whole new level. We want every child to be a super high flyer, if there's anything like that. Okay, super high flyer, not just in the classroom, super high flyer in every aspect of their lives. Now, this is what we're going to be doing at the workshop. And as usual, when we have something like this and we want it to get to everyone, we want everybody to be a part of it. We want as many people as possible to be a part of it. The team and I will always say, let's keep it at a price that is reasonable, so that the price is not the reason why people are not taking it. So right now, that course is going for $399. So with $3,999, you can enroll for this workshop. Okay, next week, because it's 2 weeks we have. We launched it since last week. Next week is going to become $499, and you can still be a part of it, and the $499 is still going to be okay. But you want to be a part of it right now, go ahead and book your seats. Okay, we don't need to have it. I mean, whatever number we have, we will roll with, because if you know me, anything that is hands-on, I am hands-on. I don't want, this is how you do it, how you do it, and then, good, and then after that, parents are like overwhelmed. Where do I start? Where do I not start? So I understand this. Maybe because I'm on both sides. I've been in the classroom. I'm a parent. So I understand the real deal. I understand the real deal when it comes to information. We process all this information, and sometimes we don't know how to convert them to, tangible things that we can begin to see results in our children. And so that's why I try to put all these programs. And because I understand that consistency is a thing, so I try to stay in, with some of those programs that I have. I try to stay in there with you 3 days, 5 days, 10 days, 21 days, 30 days, even when the payment is not commensurate. But hey, it's okay. Let's do this now. All right. So, yes, the last thing I said I was going to talk about is you are going to ensure that you have a feedback system. There has to be a communication loop. There has to be a feedback system. There has to be a system of evaluation. Okay. And you're going to use that system of evaluation throughout the school year. This is what we did with the parents in the mastermind circle. This is what we do in the mastermind circle. So we constantly have the one-on-one session. It's our system of feedback. The parents, the child, the matron, because I'm in charge of that. Okay, so the parent, the matron, the child. So constantly having this one-on-one session, constantly having those reviews every now and then, where you want to have that system. And personally, you have to be that parent that's able to stop every, intermittently, when you pick the time, okay, every 2 months, every 3 months, every quarter, you want to stop and, evaluate your progress. Where did we start? Where are we? What goal did we set for this time? Have we achieved this? Where are we going to? Is it this? Is it that? When you are able to do that, then you will begin to see a lot of results in what you are doing, and you're able to put yourself in a place where you can be vulnerable and then go back to you can be vulnerable and then go back to evaluate your progress and all of that. So thank you very much. I think I'm gonna have to stop right here. Thank you so much for being a part of this. If you would like to be a part of the workshop, as I said, go ahead. I thought we had this on the banner and I could put that up for you right now, but we don't. But if you would like to be a part of this, you will have the information at just didn't work, and we'll see. All right, so thank you very much. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Bye. If you're catching the replay, let us know you're catching the replay and let us know in the comments if you got value from this session. Have a fantastic rest of the day.